is Captain Dave and Ms Brooke with Simple Plan Trucking. We are still at home in North Central Florida, and we are enjoying probably our second to the last night at home, sitting by the pool. And we decided tonight to do a video for you on a topic that's very relevant and something that has been asked for by one of our subscribers, and that is the topic of taxes at Prime. Specifically for those who are lease operators or owner operators, because we're going to be talking about the taxes that we have to pay ourselves. When you own your own business, when you're an LLC or another form of corporation, you have to pay your own taxes. And that's something that's new to people when they come to Prime. They've never done it before. They like the idea of being an owner operator, and there are many benefits to being either lease or an owner operator. But you have to stay on top of your paperwork, and you have to file your taxes every year, and you have to put money back so that you're ready for that. Before we begin, I want to say I'm not a tax professional. I have done my own taxes for years. I have a lot of experience in doing my own personal taxes. But Simple Plan Trucking is our first business, and we are incorporated for the first time. So I am in no way an expert. We've gone through it exactly 1 year. So for those of you that have been in the business a long time, I'm not going to be talking about anything that you don't already know. This video is geared toward new truckers, new truckers with their own business in the first year, specifically those that are driving for Prime and are anxious about taxes this year. Maybe you have started the process, maybe you haven't started it yet. It's not too late, but you really need to get onto it. So again, I'm not a tax professional. This is in no way advice. It's just our experience, and we'll give you some ideas about how we went through the process this year. You may want to do it, you may want to do something completely different. That's up to you. Okay, so we actually ran this year for 3 quarters out of 4. Brooke finished her training, getting her PSD training, and she got her CDL at the end of March at exactly the same time as I was in. I had finished my TNT and was into upgrade. So it worked out perfectly for us. We rolled out March 1st, so we had exactly 3 quarters on the road.
Was it March 1st, April 1st?
I'm sorry, end of March, April 1st. Yeah, at the beginning of the second quarter, we rolled out, and we worked for exactly 3 quarters of the year. So one of the things that you have to make a decision on if you decide to go lease or lease purchase, you are going to have to start a business. You're going to have to incorporate, and Prime walks you through that whole process. When you come in to upgrade, you'll go through classes for that. They'll tell you how to do it. They'll guide you through the process. But like so many things that happen during that time, it's a whirlwind. It's just way too much to absorb, and you really can't. They give you more information than your brain can take in and understand in that short amount of time. So it's good to take notes. It's good to get hard copies of the documentation and then come back and read up on it, and also watch videos and talk to people that have already done it, because they're going to be some of the best sources of information for you, which may or may not be accurate. Always back it up with a conversation with your fleet manager, or in the case of tax preparation, call your tax preparer or Abacus if you choose to use them. So one of the first things that you're going to do right out of the bat is you're going to start tracking your expenses, and this is so important, because allowable expenses are a direct tax deduction for you at the end of the year. And a lot of people are unaware of all the things that you can deduct from your taxes. Anything that you use on your truck in your business. So when we came on board, we had to outfit our truck. It was a brand new bare truck. We needed a new GPS. We needed auto socks for the truck. You can do auto socks or chains, either one. You need, you don't have to have it, but we bought a 3-in-1 microwave, convection oven, that kind of thing.
Had to have a lock.
We had to buy our locks, alloy locks. Those are something that you pay for out of your pocket. Keep the receipt for those. What else did we buy? Any of the fluids
Seat
and
covers.
seat covers. We needed wiper blades for the truck. We needed anything that you pay for. And I got to tell you, I guess we probably paid for, right at the company store on day one, we bought $1,500
We
worth
bought a lot of
of
stuff.
merchandise. And so it's really cool because Prime will allow you to pay that off over a certain amount of weeks. In our case, it was 10 weeks, and we gradually paid that off. But there is some expense. Not that you have to do it, but to make things more comfortable on the road. Some things you do have to buy, some things are more of an extravagance, and if you want them, you can get them. But if you use it on the truck, keep the receipt, because that's a tax deduction for you. Also, in our case, when we came to Prime, it was a time for new phones for us. Our phones were older, and they were smaller. The older you get, the bigger the phone that you need to see the writing on it. So I got for Brooke and I 2 brand new iPhone 13s, and that is a tax deduction because those phones are used in our business. Your phone bill every month, your subscription bills to the channels that you watch. If you watch HBO or Showtime or Paramount or any of those things that
Which I didn't know that.
if you buy those, that's how you connect with the world, and you can use that as a tax write-off. Also, we have the upgraded version of YouTube because we need that because of making the videos. This is our business. We use YouTube as part of our business, so that's a tax write-off for us as well. So keep track of all those things. Keep the receipts for those. And what Abacus does for you, they provide a form, and I'll take a picture of it and put it up here in the video. But they have a monthly form that you need to fill out with everything that you buy for the truck during that month. Fluid, wiper blades. If you're out on the road and you need windshield wiper fluid, or if you have to buy anti-gel or 911 or anything like that you need for the truck, keep the receipt and put it on the monthly expense sheet and send it in to Abacus at the end of each month. That was a mistake that I made in the first year. I did it, but I really kept the form and sent it in quarterly. And upon reflection, I know that was probably a mistake. I probably lost out on some things that I bought that I couldn't put my hands on the receipt, or I didn't remember it and didn't write it down on the form. Trying to remember at the end of 90 days is a lot harder than just writing it down on the form. Keep it on a clipboard, snap a picture of it, and send it in to Abacus at the end of every month. So that's something that we're definitely going to do this year to improve the process. So you do that all throughout the year. The other very important thing that you need to be able to do and start from day one is every single week that when you get your settlement and your money is deposited into your business account, make sure that you have some way to set your money aside for your taxes. We live in Florida, so we don't have state tax. All we have is federal tax. So I put aside 22% of every check right off the top. I took it right off the top, and I had a secondary account at my business bank, which is U.S. Bank. We use U.S. Bank right there in Springfield. And I had a savings account, and I put my tax money into the savings account. And then every quarter, around April, July, September, and January, those months may be off a little bit, 4 times a year at the end of the quarter, you make an estimated quarterly tax payment directly to the IRS. And there is an app for that too. It's called IRS To Go. You download it to your phone. It's very simple. You get onto the app, and it's connected with your bank account, and you tell it how much to pay the IRS for that quarter.
What's it called?
IRS To Go.
How did you find out about that?
Don't remember how I found out. Somebody told me about it, probably. Somebody else that was using it, but it works.
IRS To Go.
Yeah, the first quarter that we did it, I didn't know about IRS To Go, and I had to have the money wired from my bank to the IRS, and that was an expense. It cost money to do that. So we learned about that. It's a free service provided by the IRS. Now, I think that I overpaid on my taxes, and that's a good thing. Not a lot, but enough so that I won't owe this year on my taxes. But just to be sure, I put an extra 10% of my pay into that savings account for my taxes every single paycheck. So it's pretty significant, the money that's in there right now, just to make sure that if I owe anything, because we made a lot of money this year. We made a lot more money than we've ever made before. And because of that, we're going to pay more taxes than we've ever paid before. I think that I paid enough, but I have an extra amount set aside in that account that I will allow to roll over for next year, or I may use it for something else. You know, we're going to be ordering a truck here in a couple weeks, and there's enough money in there, not to pay for the truck, but pretty much to pay for the down payment on the truck. And so, you know, it's a good way to save your money for other things that come up too. We also have our emergency fund, but this account, I have it called my tax savings account, is specifically to pay our taxes, and that's what we pay that money out of quarterly. Then the way that it happens at the end of the year, around December, if you go with Abacus, they reach out to you, the business owner. They give you a call and say, hey, we're going to be sending you what's called the tax organizer, and they send that to you in your email, and you click on it, and it takes you to a site where you enter all your information for your taxes. Now, they're able to pull up everything that comes from Prime. In our case, Brooke and I both had W-2s that we got from Prime when we were training, when we were in TNT, because you're a W-2 employee and you draw a salary. But once we got on the road, we become a 1099 employee. Simple Plan Trucking gets paid. Brooke's still a company employee, but we stopped getting W-2s. It comes to Simple Plan Trucking, and then I pay her out of my money, our money. She gets a paycheck. So it's important to know that you only have to provide the documentation for anything other than Prime. As an example, I had a job for part of the year in 2002 before I came on with Prime, before I came on with Prime, that I got a W-2 for. So I had to make sure they had that. You know, any money that you make from investments, there's a statement that comes out on that. And so you have to provide that as well. Our home mortgage, our mortgage interest, we have a statement that comes out for that. We had to provide that. So the organizer goes through a list and asks you, do you have this? Do you have this? Do you have this? And then you'll take those documents that have been sent to your house, you'll snap a picture of them, and you'll upload those to the organizer for Abacus. So it's really very simple. Then there's a series of phone calls back and forth between Abacus and the business, your business. And you're going to answer the questions, and then they're going to file your taxes for you. It's really that simple. Ours are just about ready to be filed now. I don't yet know how much money we made exactly for the year. I know how much the truck got in revenue, and we were pleasantly surprised with that number. We were very close to what I thought we might get. Not what my goal was, but pretty much on with what I expected in our first year. And I think it's only going to go up from there. So that's really all we have for tonight. I just wanted to share with you the process for preparing, saving for your taxes, making sure you get enough money put away during the year, and then using a tax preparation service if you want, or filing your taxes on your own. Do I think that Abacus I think that Abacus is convenient, and I think it's good to use Abacus in your first year of driving with Prime, because they know Prime, they're tied in with Prime, they can pull their documents. They make it about as easy for you as you can. In the long run, I don't know if I'll continue to use Abacus. I may use another service, or I may just file my own taxes in the future. But I think for at least one more year, I'll continue to use Abacus, just to make sure that we get it right. You don't want to make any, mistakes on your taxes and owe down the road. So that's it. Just wanted to share with you our experience with paying our taxes in the first year, how we did it, how we set it up. Certainly open for questions, send them our way. If this was helpful to you and you're not already subscribed, we'd ask you to please subscribe to the channel. Share our channel with someone who may be interested in trucking. It could certainly change your life. It's changed ours. That's all for now. This is Captain Dave and Ms Brooke with Simple Plan Trucking. Y'all be safe out there, and we'll see you out on the road.
Bye, y'all.
Bye. Good.